Hello, I'm Major Jed Hudson with the Army Talent Management Task Force, and I'm joined today by Sergeant Major Robert Haney, the top senior non-commissioned officer on the Army Talent Management Task Force. Together, we are committed to helping the Army ensure we are selecting the best possible non-commissioned officers to lead our soldiers. As the Army transitions from a data-poor, industrial-age model to a data-rich, information-age model for talent management, we are finding better ways to acquire, develop, employ, and retain the best non-commissioned officers. We are incorporating a culture of objective and standardized assessments to complement the evaluation system and provide a comprehensive view of those whom we select to serve in senior NCO positions. The Army is making changes to the PCS process and overhauling junior NCO promotions. Foundational to all our talent management initiatives is the understanding that not all soldiers are exactly alike. Each individual brings a wide array of unique talent, the intersection of knowledge, skills, behaviors, and preferences. The answer to the question, who is the best non-commissioned officer, should be for which job. I'd like to turn it over now to Sergeant Major Haney to talk about our top talent management priority, the First Sergeants. Sergeant Major?
Thank you, Major Hudson. As many of you know, the Talent Management Task Force is committed to developing initiatives that will improve the management of our people. Develop pilots to test these new ideas, assess their effectiveness, and if successful, rapidly expand these initiatives to the rest of the Army. Our number one talent management initiative for NCOs is the First Sergeant selection. In conjunction with the Army Research Institute and Asymmetric Warfare Group and numerous other stakeholders, we are developing the First Sergeant Talent Alignment Assessment. First Sergeants are the key and essential NCOs serving in any Army organization. They are the last NCOs exercise direct leadership. As a First Sergeant, I had 325 soldiers in my company. I generally knew them by first name. I knew their families. I knew their career aspirations and their personal and professional challenges. As I moved to become a battalion and brigade sergeant major, I found it more difficult to have that daily interaction and that level of engagement with every soldier. First Sergeants shape the culture of any organization. They instill discipline, they oversee individual and collective training, they manage personnel, they supervise administrative issues, they monitor the health and welfare of soldiers, and in keeping with the Sergeant Major of the Army's initiative, This Is My Squad, the First Sergeant mentors and develops squad leaders. The Talent Alignment Assessment is a decentralized assessment tool for leaders at division and installation level to identify talents required by their units and assess the available talents of Master Sergeants and Senior Sergeant First Classes across that organization. Through this process, multiple vectors of information will inform First Sergeant slating. We have partnered with the 18th Airborne Corps to run the First Sergeant Talent Alignment Assessment pilot in December of this year. Participants during this pilot will undergo a series of assessments including the Army Physical Fitness Test and the First Sergeant Assessment Battery. This battery measures numerous qualities including leadership, ethical behavior, communication, and motivation, amongst others. Participants will then take part in an interview with the Command Sergeant Major, Sergeants Major, and other senior officers from across the organization. The results of these assessments will then be submitted to the Talent Alignment Panel, which will compare the talents required for the units to the individual talents available identified throughout the assessment for each one of the NCOs. The Talent Alignment Panel will provide recommendations on where each NCO would best serve across that installation. Leaders will now have the opportunity to build a bench for these required key positions. When an upcoming vacancy is identified, the command teams will have the tools available to make an informed decision that is looking at the whole senior NCO population across the installation, not just down and in within the brigades. The First Sergeant Talent Alignment Assessment differs slightly from other talent management initiatives. Participants are not placed on an order of merit list. Instead, the focus is on aligning talent where each individual NCO is best suited. The First Sergeant Talent Alignment Assessment designed to better inform leaders and not to replace their judgment. The authority to assign First Sergeants will remain the same, but now leaders will have much more data to inform their decisions.
Sergeant Major, I think this program has enormous potential. Senior Sergeants First Class and Master Sergeants will have an opportunity to participate, which can really open the talent aperture to local leaders. First Sergeants are arguably our most critical position in the non-commissioned officer corps. First Sergeants, generally speaking, have significantly more experience than their commander counterparts, and as such, they provide critical expertise and stability to the command team and play an outsized role in the health of their organization. In addition to the First Sergeant Talent Alignment Assessment, this year also brought an overhaul to the NCO assignment system. The Assignment Satisfaction Key Enlisted Module, or ASCM, gives NCOs predictability on when they can expect to move and offers them the opportunity to submit location preferences. Enlisted Personnel Management Division opened the first pilot this past June to Armor, Military Intelligence, and 92 Yankee MOSs. Of the NCOs that submitted preferences, 25% received their first choice, and 55% received one of their top 5 choices. The second pilot closed at the end of September, and those movers are getting slated right now. On this upcoming Veterans Day, the Army is scheduled to expand ASCM to the entire NCO population that is in the 2101 movement cycle. EPMD anticipates high levels of participation and satisfaction with this cycle, and will continue to run this for all NCOs in each movement cycle over the next year. ASCM is a bridge to our next talent management initiative, the Army Talent Alignment Process, ATAP. You may have already heard about the new decentralized, regulated market style system of aligning talent that began for officers last year. The ATAP encourages collaboration and engagement between units and moving officers to preference one another. Now we will expand ATAP to include NCOs as well when it opens for Master Sergeants early in fiscal year 22. I'll turn it back over to Sergeant Major Haney now for some specifics.
The Army Talent Alignment Process is a decentralized, regulated market-style hiring system which aligns officers with jobs based on preferences. The ATAP uses more detailed information about officers and units than the former style or system of distributing officers across the Army based on only a few pieces of information: their branch, rank, and sometimes manner of performance. ATAP is transparent. All participating units and movers can see each other. Movers are matched to available assignments based on their preferences as well as those of the hiring units. Soldiers' preferences are shaped by their unique knowledge, skills, and behaviors, with the primary factor being the soldier's preference. As Major Hudson mentioned, the Army will initially open the ATAP to Master Sergeant population and will look to include Sergeant First Classes, select MOSs for Staff Sergeants, and potentially Sergeant Majors. There are several tools available to help units and soldiers who are scheduled to participate in ATAP. Look for these tools on the Army Talent Management website, HRC, and S1Net. Before we go, there's one more topic that I want you to know about. Next month, the Army Talent Management Task Force will conduct a prototype of the Sergeant Major's Assessment Program, November 14th through the 18th, in conjunction with the FY22 Battalion Commander Assessment Program at Fort Knox, Kentucky. The 32 Sergeant Majors scheduled to participate are under consideration for Battalion Command Sergeant Major in the next evaluation board. This prototype is non-binding and its participation is voluntary. The participants will take a series of assessments in line with officers' experience during the Battalion Commander Assessment Program. This includes the collection of peer and subordinate feedback, an APFT, cognitive and non-cognitive assessments, and an interview with an operational psychologist. The prototype will culminate in a double-blind interview between Sergeant Majors and participants, and a panel consisting of non-command Sergeant Majors and senior commissioned officers. The Talent Management Task Force held the first Battalion Commander Assessment Program at Fort Knox in January 2020. The participants identified through the BCAP represent officers who possess higher potential for continued service and are more physically fit, better communicators, and less toxic. Check back for more on the Sergeant Major's assessment in December. In the meantime, I encourage you to visit the Army Talent Management virtual AUSA booth. Our virtual booth is running all week, and we have links to our website and additional resources to explain talent management initiatives. Thank you for all your continued support as we continue to move forward to create a 21st century talent management system for our Army. Talent wins.
And winning matters.